Welcome back to Red Devils TV, the realist channel on YouTube. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below your predictions for Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. So yes, this is your Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest preview. It's going to be a very tough game because Erik Ten Hag has got a massive dilemma here, let's be honest, because so many players now in the starting 11 have just been down in tools, poor and need dropping. And in a game like this, you probably would expect Erik Ten Hag to rotate, but it's such a crucial game. It's United's only chance for silverware throughout the entire season. So is Erik Ten Hag going to stick with the same players that are letting him down week in, week out, or is he going to rotate? Will we see some faces like Camblera or Amad Diallo, players like that, maybe even Mason Mount's return? Or do you think he'll stick with the same players like Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford and other players that have been letting him down for the last few weeks? But I think Erik Ten Hag does need to make a statement. I personally believe he should rotate and drop certain players because, let's be honest, if you look at Erik Ten Hag's body language and how he personified himself at the start of his Manchester United career, he was methodical, he was stern, it was his way or no way. He looks like a manager where you can't take the piss out of him pretty much. But now he's like the shell of the man he once was. He doesn't seem like that. He's like, and either try to pull the wool over our eyes and trying to just tell us, oh, everything's okay, it's just a bad performance. Because he turned around and said after the Fulham game, now don't quote me on this, but he said something along the lines of about how we're in a positive direction. Erik, we're playing shit, mate. Like, where are you getting this from? So he's either like confident with what's going on behind the scenes with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the appointments he's making, or like I said, he's going to try and pull the wool over our eyes and just try and say, oh, everything's okay. But everyone, even Stevie Wonder, can see that it's not okay, mate. So is Erik Ten Hag like out of time almost? And I personally believe if he loses against Nottingham Forest on Wednesday, and if he loses badly to City, I can guarantee that probably 50% of the fan base will probably be Erik Ten Hag out. And will be wanting Erik Ten Hag's head on a pitchfork almost, which is disappointing because I still back this manager. I think he's a good manager. If you was to ask me who would be my ideal Ten Hag replacement, I probably would go with someone like Nagelsmann, a manager that's out there who is a proven winner. But I believe right now he's the international manager of Germany. So with the Euros and everything, he's got all that to plan for. So, getting a manager in July where pre-season's about to start, or maybe a week or two before it's about to start, that's way too late in getting in a new manager. But let's be honest as well, Erik Ten Hag was still the manager of Ajax and he was implementing his plans into Manchester United for his first season. So maybe that could happen. But I still back Erik Ten Hag. But I think it's concerning for myself that I'm now starting to look at other options out there for managers that I would like to replace Erik Ten Hag if it doesn't go right and if Sir Jim Ratcliffe does want someone else maybe. But is Erik Ten Hag running out of time? I mean, I've already asked this question, but this is a question for you guys to let me know in the comments down below because it's so tough. Because I look what we did last season. Now people are now starting to write off last season and just completely forget about what Erik Ten Hag and the squad did last season. But it was an incredible achievement. People forget about the season before Erik Ten Hag came in, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick half season. It was our worst Premier League's points tally in over 20 years. It was terrible, the performances, the players, the drama. It was literally like an episode of Coronation Street. And I think Erik Ten Hag in his first season, I think he kind of stiffed himself because he set the bar so high. People were expecting us to dominate the Premier League this season and easily get top four. But obviously that's not the case because of how much Liverpool have bounced back and the likes of Arsenal and City, It's very hard to get into the top four in the Premier League nowadays because you've got your established top three in Arsenal, Liverpool and City. There's only one place left and, you've got your Aston Villas, you've got your Tottenham Hotspurs, you even got Newcastle who've also dipped off this season, but you can't underestimate them at the same time because they're also going through a massive injury crisis. But I do think Manchester United can finish strong this season. We've still got 8 injuries currently at the time we're recording. Rasmus Højlund, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Mason Mount, Martial, Malacia, and the list goes on. It's absolutely draining to see the list of players that are currently out injured. You've got probably 3 or 4 starting available players in that are currently out injured. Rasmus Højlund's our main striker. Luke Shaw's our best left back. You know, Malacia or Wan-Bissaka, they're our perfect backup in full-back options. We're having to play Lindelof at full-back at the moment. It's a complete mess, and Erik Ten Hag's availability that he has for players is very, very limited at the moment. And, you know, Jurgen Klopp, maybe Ten Hag should be taking a leaf out of Jurgen Klopp's book by trusting more youth players. But we look at Forson, who played against Fulham. You know, he looks like he wasn't ready. He didn't look like he wanted to fight for the badge. He just looks like another player just couldn't be asked playing for Man United, which is the wrong type of characteristics and attitude we have in this squad. And we don't need that type of attitude in our team, in my opinion. But obviously, let's keep talking about the game for Man United and Nottingham Forest. Now, who would be Manchester United's key player? And it's so hard because I don't know what team Erik Ten Hag's going to go for. But if it was up to me, I'm going to have to say probably Bruno Fernandes. I mean, he's played terrible over the last 2 months, but I just think that it's hard with Bruno, because I feel like that if you give him that one chance and that moment of brilliance, and if he just simplified his game and stopped the petulance moaning, he'd have the fans off his back. But so many fans are now starting to turn on Bruno Fernandes. This is the guy that, for me with Bruno, I have so much respect for him, because I remember that first season when he came in the January transfer window and completely just turned around our season. That team was a shambles before Bruno Fernandes came, and he practically carried us season back-to-back seasons almost. He scored so many goals, he got so many assists. In his first however many games, he got 50 goals and 50 assists. Only him and Lionel Messi were the only players to do so in such a short time frame. That's excluding the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Ødegaard, Modric, all these world-class midfielders that play all over Europe. And Bruno Fernandes was getting stats higher than players with that elite quality in performances. But for me, I don't think Erik Ten Hag's going to change the team, to be honest. I think he's going to stick with the starting 11, because maybe he'll play Antony over Garnacho. We might, instead of Forson, maybe. You know what? We'll talk about the team that played against Fulham, you know. So obviously we had Onana, Diallo, Maguire, Varane, Lindelof, Casemiro, Mainu, Fernandes, Forson, Rashford and Garnacho. So if it was up to me, I would probably I'll stick with Onana in net. I would like to go for BND, but Onana's going to start. This is just going to be my predicted 11, not the team that I would go for. So Onana in net, Diallo at right back, Maguire and Varane and Lindelof. It wasn't a strong back four, but I don't think he's going to go for someone like Camballera. I don't think he's going to go for the youth left back that people are talking about. I'm not sure about his name. The midfield will probably stay the same. He'll probably go for Casemiro if he's not injured, because he went off with a head injury, Mainu and Fernandes. But I think if Erik Ten Hag is going to make a change, he'll probably keep Rashford through the middle, Garnacho on the left, and probably Antony on the right, or maybe even Amad Diallo. That's the only massive change I could probably see. He probably would drop Forson, because Forson wasn't good enough against Fulham, in my opinion. So if Ten Hag goes off that starting 11, that's my predicted 11, then personally, I think our key player will be Bruno Fernandes. You know, we need them technical players. I would rather see someone like Amad Diallo start over Antony. I don't rate Antony personally, but maybe he'll come good. I'm not too sure, but a lot of fans really want to see Amad Diallo shine. But maybe even dropping Bruno Fernandes and playing Amad Diallo as a 10. Obviously, I know Erik Ten Hag would never do that, but I see Amad Diallo more as a technical 10 than I do as a technical winger. Amad Diallo is very direct. I mean, remember when we had Planet Faz on the show the other night? You know, he turned around and said about where's the most dangerous chance to have a free kick, through the centre, not through the wide areas on the edge of the boxes. Having a straight free kick is probably you've got your biggest chance when it is outside of the area of the box. So maybe having someone like Amad Diallo, who will draw in a lot of opportunities for set pieces, maybe Erik Ten Hag should try something like that, because he played that for Sunderland. He scored quite a few goals for Sunderland. I know it's in the Championship and the level is completely different. It is maximum difficulty, especially in the FA Cup when Nottingham Forest were wanted to be winning a trophy as well. But Amad Diallo could be a massive player for us if he does get an opportunity under Erik Ten Hag for Wednesday's game. But I don't really know much about Nottingham Forest and who would be their key player, the opposition's key player. For me, the standout name is either Morgan Gibbs-White or Awoniyi, I think their striker's called. For me, I'd go for the Awoniyi because what he has as being a striker, he's obviously very physical. He's got that pace on him. He's a brilliant target man and can bully a lot of defences. And how fragile our defence is at the moment, I think Awoniyi would definitely cause us a lot of trouble if Nottingham Forest could push us back. But hopefully Ten Hag can find a way to get these players to keep playing this high line, and we force Nottingham Forest to play on the back foot. Obviously that will set us up for the counter-attack, and players like Maguire and Lindelof really need to be careful in stepping up, because I think Lindelof did that way too much against Fulham, and that's where we went wrong. Because for me personally, United should have tried and played for the equaliser. We got the equaliser against Fulham, and then we should have played for the draw, in my opinion. There was no way we deserved to win that game, but the players carried on going for it. Lindelof and Maguire stepped up too far forward, and then there you go, Adama Traore is on the counter-attack. And then, who knows, Iwobi is then scoring the winner in the 97th minute, and United lose out on a point, which was a very important point considering we're supposed to be in this top 4 race. So I feel like our defenders really need to be careful against Nottingham Forest, because they made mistakes against Fulham, and we can't afford this, because United need to win the FA Cup, and we'll definitely see it if the players want Ten Hag to stay or not, or are they just going to throw another manager under the bus? Because it's been way too many times now where we've seen players throwing multiple different managers under the bus and downing tools. But hopefully these players don't do that to Ten Hag, because I love Ten Hag. I know that the players won't do it for me or majority of the fan base, but they should be doing it for themselves. They should want to show that respect to their manager. They should know that what this manager can do with this team once he's got his strongest 11. We are one of the best teams in the Premier League when we've got our strongest starting 11, but that's just my opinion. But what would my score predictions be? If it's going off the starting 11 that I think it is, my predicted 11, I'll go for a 2-1 victory to Man United. But, we don't know, because I don't know what team Erik Ten Hag's going to go for. It's all up in the air, because I really don't know if he's going to rotate or if he's going to stick with a similar team, because, it's make or break for Erik Ten Hag. Will he win the FA Cup, or will he even progress to the next round? We're playing terrible at the moment. Rasmus Højlund has been papering over the cracks by scoring in consecutive matches, been making it seem that it's all okay when it's really not. We're not playing well. So hopefully Man United can get the job done on Wednesday night. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below on, do you think Manchester United will win against Nottingham Forest on Wednesday evening? But anyway, leave a like on the video. If you've made it this far to the video as well, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below your predictions and subscribe if you are new. But I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Take care.